vlog is starting in the exact same location as the last vlog, albeit in a different car, because my car is still parked right next to me here in the Dalesford car park where I left it on Friday, because still got a puncture, haven't been able to get that sorted over the weekend. What a weekend, oh my goodness. I think if you did not catch up with the middle to end of the last vlog, I would recommend it. If you want to know why this weekend was so crazy, I think as a result of what happened yesterday afternoon, Charlie and I both slept really badly. I mean, it's quite an emotionally insane thing to go through, but it's a really gorgeous day today, blue skies, starting the day my favourite way with some reformer Pilates. I'm seeing some of my favourite people today, so yeah, hopefully we're gonna get back on track. I hate starting vlogs in a negative way, but I think I'm sure you guys will be able to understand if you watched yesterday's vlog. Yesterday? It happened yesterday for me, but the last vlog. Anyway, so hopefully today I'll be able to get my tyres sorted. This car also needs to go in to get its tyres looked at. Anyone that lives in the countryside will know that it is pothole-o-rama at this time of year, and the roads around us from here to home and to the farmhouse basically are regular haunts. It's like snakes and ladders on these roads. It's absolutely crazy. I think today is a leek and potato soup kind of day. Got lots of leeks in the fridge that need eating up. I want to plant out my broad beans. I want to plant, I say plant, I need to sow. Sow my broad beans, sow my rainbow chard. And then this evening I'm coming to a talk again back here at Bamford Club, meeting, well, it's actually NJ's talk. So NJ is my lovely friend that you, I think, have met a couple of times here on the channel. She's fascinating. She is a hypnotherapist, and she's doing a talk here this evening, which I think is going to be fascinating. Anyway, I can't sit here and chat. I need to get to class, so let's go and do some reformer Pilates. Well, I think these smoothie jars may have just been one of my finest ideas. Sorry, Dexy's barking because someone's come to drop off some bedside tables. Again, you might have seen me putting these together in the last vlog. They've got all of my super powders, my mushrooms, my collagens, my frozen blasted blueberry and everything else. I've made 5 of these little jars, and all I need to do is add my nut milk and some kefir in. And I also forgot to put chia seeds in these, so I've added chia seeds and then blending it all up, and it's a delicious morning smoothie. As you might have seen, I did struggle to get them out the jar, so I had to run them under hot water for a bit, but I think next time if I just bring them out of the freezer 5 minutes before I want to put the smoothie together. I just added some banana into these 3 because again I didn't have any banana when I put them together at the weekend, but it's absolutely delicious. And it's going to save me a lot of time. I arrived home this morning to a beautiful bunch of red roses for Valentine's Day from my lovely friends at Flowered. There's something so classic and timeless about a deep crimson red rose. I think by the time you guys watch this, Valentine's will have been and gone, but for me it's on Wednesday. It hasn't occurred yet, so I feel sorry for Charlie because I think that he's been pipped to the post. But how beautiful are they? They look really lovely next to the, I think it's a viburnum with the moss underneath that we picked up from the garden centre. So thank you to Flowered for my gorgeous treat. Okay, my darlings, back in the bathroom. I've had my shower, but I'm doing my little 2 minutes of me time. I saw Molly Campsey talking about her zip device in her vlog, and I was like, I've got one of those and I need to get better at using it more regularly. I just went on the app because the app and the device connect together, which is amazing because I would just not know what to do with this without the app. And I've noticed that they've got a new lip treatment to create a more youthful, fuller looking lip while filling in smile and laughter lines. Soft microcurrents boost circulation to mimic lip plumping, increasing pout fullness and minimizing lip and mouth wrinkles. It's a 2-minute treatment. So I'm going to click go. You might remember when it always just feels so funny because it sends the microcurrents like underneath your skin for this mega tightening and plumping and toning and lifting effect. I'm following the instructions from the lady on the screen. I like the idea that you can plump out those lines around your lips. I think anyone that used to be a smoker, I use it in the past tense because I don't think anyone smokes anymore, do they? I think we've all learned that it's really not a good idea. But even like from pouting or sucking a straw or just life, you know, you get those little fine lines around your lips. So I thought a 2-minute treatment would be quite a good idea. And if it really does plump my lips ahead of Valentine's Day, then that's, I mean, any time to be honest, any time that I've got a special event. But sometimes what this is really good for is like you can do movements like this. I've not got the conductor gel up there, so it's not going to work. I put this around my lip area before I got started. Switch. Yeah, you know, sometimes if you just want to create a more lifted look, whether it's your eyebrow or your cheek, if you wake up and you're a little bit puffy, I feel like I'm really good with like my serums and my moisturizer, my vitamin C. I love doing my LED because you can just lie down and not do anything. Oh, she swapped to up here. But yeah, ever since I watched Molly's video, I was like, I need to do more microcurrent. I should have a discount code for this as well, so I'll leave that link down below. Do we think this is plumping my lips? It certainly feels like it's doing something. Feels like it's making them go all twitchy. So I'm going to finish enjoying doing this and get ready for the day. This has become a little bit of a post-lunch ritual for Charlie.
Just get a moment, like a little moment with my small one, while I have my espresso, my therapy dog that Dickie is.
Do you know what's so funny is that he loves you in completely different ways to how he loves me. Like he really nuzzles his face and his neck up against you. Oh. But I still prefer my mum here.
He also knows, like, we've had a bit of a stressful weekend, and he knows.
He does.
When you're a bit low.
I don't know if he knows. I think he's just inclined to cuddle us. But Dexy knows. Dexy's clever.
Have you talked about what we got up to this weekend?
I did mention it in the last vlog.
What did you mention?
Well, I didn't give any details as to what happened to her, but I said that there was an emergency. But we heard from her mum today.
Yeah.
And she's out of hospital, whether that's a good or a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, God, it's so difficult because on one hand, I'm so grateful that we had the first day of training. Shout out to Graham that gave us the confidence to act. I have to say, I still feel so let down by the ambulances, by the staff working at the A&E. I went in there, honestly, there was no urgency, they didn't care. It was so unprofessional when the male nurse realised that it was potentially self-inflicted injuries, that we had found this woman with some pretty severe self-inflicted injuries, he rolled his eyes at me.
Wow.
And it just made me think, it made me really reflect and just think, look, every human life is equal, and no matter whether it's self-inflicted or not, there should be no, you've signed up to help people. I don't know, look, as I say, the NHS is under a lot of pressure, so, but it terrified me. So I guess trying to focus on the positive of it, I think if everyone can get out there and do a first aid course, it will be immeasurably
and
impactful.
even if you can't afford to do that, like there must be so many amazing, I think the British Red Cross offer quite a lot for free, and then there's videos online.
Honestly, I know, you know, it's not just small villages in the Cotswolds that have parish councils. Our parish council,
like Hackney City Council, will do courses.
Offer a free one. We just wanted to have one that was in our own home, that was more intense. But yeah, what I would say is it left me feeling like if only we all knew more first aid. In that situation, we had to take her to Amy because she would have died. Whereas I can tell you now, there would probably half the waiting room there were people potentially with things that could maybe have been addressed if people knew first aid. You know, rather than clogging up a hospital waiting room in A&E. But that's just my opinion. Dickie wouldn't have been very useful. But I am a therapy dog, you see, so for me they prescribed me at the end.
Yes, I'm the best bit, you know. I'm the best bit, and I make everything better. Because I'm part doggy and part snowball.
Look at this one.
I've got really big paws, but
this one.
I don't like anyone touching my paws.
Jealous dog.
So
what did you say? You didn't explain exactly what happened though?
No, I don't think people need to know the details, do they?
Probably not,
No.
So we've already had our lunch for today. Apologies about my hair. I'm just not doing anything with it today, so it's just gonna sit here and be flat. Yeah, we've already had our lunch for today, but I know that tomorrow I'm not really gonna have time to do any food prep for my lunch because I've got Kate coming to the house to colour my hair for me. It's such a treat to have someone come to your house and colour your hair. I do find it quite disruptive and a long amount of time to sit in a salon in London. I adore Michael Van Clark and getting my hair coloured there, but if I'm honest, if I can avoid going into London, I will. And I've also arranged for someone on the Lucy app, which is kind of like the Cotswold version of Ruby, to come and do a pedi at the same time. Genius. But anyway, I'm not going to have time to make lunch tomorrow. I've got a few ingredients that need eating up, like the remnants of the kale from our garden. We've got a mixture of purple and green kale. I've got some leeks which are going a little bit soft, so they definitely need eating. I've got my homemade veggie stock, which needs to be consumed within the next couple of days, and soup is just like the ultimate way to use up stock. Some spuds, some potatoes, they are starting to grow things out of them, so they definitely need eating. And then with this recipe in mind, I grabbed some Colston Bassett Stilton, yum, from Dalesford this morning. So we're gonna do a cheesy leek and potato soup. I won't go through it step by step with you because soup is soup. Blend it all together, heat it all up, and jobs are good on. But let's get prepping. And when I've done this, I can obviously just put it in the fridge. I beg your pardon. And then all I'll need to do tomorrow is heat it up. So let's start with some leek prep. This lighting is wild. The bits that I'm not using, I'm popping in here, and they will go in my freezer bags for my next batch of stock, which is going to include some chicken bones. Lila cooked a roast chicken yesterday, so we've got some chicken bones that need brothifying. Fun fact, if you're very patient, you can actually stick this part of a leek in the ground and the roots will regrow and you'll actually develop an entire new leek, which I think is pretty amazing. I'm going to start just with 3. I'm going to start by adding some oil and butter, heating them all up and essentially sauteing these down. I'm going to add the kale into the Thermomix as well, and I'm going to chop everything up before I saute with the butter and the oil. So I've just used the Thermomix to chop up the leeks and the kale with some oil, some butter and a little bit of salt. I'm now going to add some heat and essentially let this saute
for 5 minutes or so. Please excuse the noise of the Thermomix doing the sauteing in the background. I am actually going to throw these bits away. I know that I'm the queen of saving things, and don't worry, I have saved, in my opinion, the best of the was going to be thrown away bits in my trusty freezer bag. I feel like I don't even need to explain that I will obviously be making a stock or a broth out of these bits. Let me know if you guys have started to do this as well. When I shared it on my Instagram stories at the weekend, I got lots of messages saying that you've started to do this as well, but I don't know about here on YouTube, so let me know if you now stash your leftover veggie scraps that were going to get thrown away, like, you know, the top bit of the leek that nobody wants to eat, or the base bit, still so full of goodness and flavour, so perfect for making a broth with. As I mentioned, I've got the chicken bones that I'm going to wazz up in the blender just to break them down a little bit and make them smaller so I can fit them in here. And then when this stock is finished, I will make a chicken stock, but I don't need any more this week. So these bits are just really kind of bedraggled top bits of leaf. Some bits are a bit muddy, so I'm not going to scrounge through these bits. They're going to go in the bin. When the sauteing is done, I'm going to be chopping up my potatoes, adding in my broth, some milk, some ground nutmeg, a little bit of salt and pepper, and of course my cheese, and then I'll let everything cook for 20 minutes, and then our soup will be done. Nice and easy. This smells so good, I just want to take a bite out of the block. So my leeks and my kale have been sauteing for just over 10 minutes. They've really withered down now, and let me just tell you, the kitchen smells amazing. So now I'm going to add in the rest of the ingredients and let it cook for around 20 minutes. Afternoon. I've got my helpers, I've got the rest of my coffee, and I've foraged some loo roll tubes. I think we've probably got enough now to, yes, look at this. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Maybe I could do one more, and then we're ready to start doing our broad beans. But first, remember I showed you that bin timetable a couple of weeks ago? Today is big bin day, so I'm just going to help Charlie with the recycling, and then we'll do some broad bean sowing. Ooh, well, it is positively delightful outside this afternoon. It's actually really toasty here in the greenhouse, so I have got far too many layers on. I'm not going to take this off though, because it is protecting my white knit underneath. But this is a really gorgeous, can you see the colour? It's like a mulberry, oxblood, kind of burgundy colour. New gilet from, oops, Holland Cooper, as you might be able to guess. Took my ring off to clean it because I had loads of like body lotion stuck on it, so I need to remember to pop that back on. These are just such lovely quality gilets. You've got little press studs on the pockets, little almost like a leather trim on the zip. The actual zip itself is antique brass. They are so gorgeous, really nice layering pieces under a wax jacket, or literally for days like today when you're out in the garden and just need that little bit of extra warmth. Hopefully I won't get any soil on my seeds, because now I just want to spend the next couple of hours doing some garden meditation, which for me is seed sowing. If you've been around this channel for a little while, you'll know that I do have somewhat of a tendency to get a little bit... Whose shadow is that? It's a bunny! Come and kiss your mother. I saw his little shadow creeping in. Come and kiss your mother, you silly little fluff ball. Have you finished terrorising the neighbours? I'm very scary, everybody. Can you tell? I like to scare everybody that walks near my garden. What was I saying? Yes. Oh, I'm in love with you. I need to sit down, sorry. Oh, oh, lovely. This would be such a nice spot to just sit and do some work or some reading. This is the time of year to really use this space, because as you get more into the summer, it would be too hot on a sunny day to work in here. But that's why I'm so glad that we got this greenhouse built, because I love to be outside. I feel more relaxed when I'm outside, and it would be too cold to just sit outside, but having this greenhouse is heavenly. And you love it too, don't you, Mum? My teeny weeny loves it too. So, my little bit of relaxation that is a little bit useful as well for this afternoon is seed sowing. I've got quite the collection of seeds from previous years, and I have got some new ones for this year. The main thing on my agenda is, as I've mentioned, broad beans, but I'm also going to do some rainbow chard and pak choi. I got them out the other day, and then we'll just have a little look and see if anything else inspires me. Need to double check what else you should be sowing in February. There's a few salad leaves that do enjoy the cooler temperatures when they're germinating, so I'll probably start a few of them off as well. I have not drunk enough water today, so I need to hydration station. I don't know if you can see here, I've also bought my sweet peas out into the greenhouse, because a lot of them have germinated and I really don't want them to get too leggy. Some of them are already getting there, but the reason they're getting leggy is because they are reaching for the light. Some of them, as you can see, haven't germinated, especially the ones I only planted 2 days ago. But I think it's warm enough in here and definitely bright enough that this is going to be a better spot for them. You can now live. Where do you want to live? Should we put you on the back, yeah? Okay, sweet peas are on the windowsill. Now, let's have a little rummage in here, my little black box of seeds, because I think my broad beans are in here. Woohoo! There's one variety. Oh yes. Another variety. Okay, I think these are the only 2 varieties that I've got, but 2 is definitely better than 1, and it's better than none. I like to grow as many varieties as possible because it's just so good for you and more exciting. So, let's get my flower press out of the way. I wonder if I should leave this in the house. Probably a little bit more wise to leave it in the house than in the greenhouse so that they can dry out properly. So this is the compost I'm going to be using today. It's my Rocket Grow peat-free seed and cutting compost. It's organic, it's peat-free, it's local, so gold stars all around. So I'm going to begin by filling my loo roll tubes with compost, and then we'll sow our broad beans. I'm coming inside for a quick break because I have got a pistachio pan au raisin that needs to be enjoyed. So I'm going to cut this in half and enjoy that. And I also need to come and do the final steps to my leek and potato soup. It currently, I just taste a little bit. I mean, it looks a bit gross actually, but I assure you it tastes delicious. But personally, ooh, I've just realised we haven't put the cheese in yet. Oh my goodness, the best bit. So I'm going to pop the cheese in, blend it up, and then she's ready to enjoy. Here we have two of my biggest weaknesses in the world. We have got a delightfully nutty, rich, stinky blue cheese, and we have got a pistachio pastry. This is quite literally my dream afternoon treat. I'm just gonna have to nibble a substantial amount of this cheese because it is so good. And I'm gonna crumble a good chunk of this into the soup, blend it up, heat it up so it all melts, and then put it in some Tupperware, ready to enjoy tomorrow. Mm. Mm. Ooh, that is more like it. So here we have my creamy, cheesy leek and potato soup. Before I bottle it all up, it's time for the all-important taste test. Charlie will be pleased to know I have been tasting it throughout the process.
Well done.
Oh my goodness me, that's good. You want to try this?
Right, I'll try some later.
Mm.
Oh, lovely done.
Do you know what? This could be even more cheesy.
Naughty.
Mm. Oh, you're going to want to try this time. Mm. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I'm actually going to put the pistachio croissant back because this is so good that even though it's 3:30, we probably won't be eating dinner till about 7 tonight because of Charlie and I doing various things. So I'm just going to pour myself a little bowl of this and enjoy it as a mid-afternoon snack. It's so yummy. Heaven in a bowl. Indoor germination station, as we are calling it. Little update on the microgreens. The peas are doing exceptionally well. I'm probably going to plant some more kohlrabi this weekend because this is, well, very well harvested and the chia seeds are starting to come up. Weirdly, this strip in the middle is not doing anything. I wonder if it's based on where the water is settling. And then these are the ones that I sowed today, my broad beans. These are some extra broad beans and my rainbow chard, so hopefully the temperatures in here will get them germinating before too long. We are rapidly losing light here in the kitchen, but I've got one more yummy thing that I'm going to be making today. At least I hope it's going to be yummy because I am going to be making this up as I go along. So in this jug, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, I've got leftover potatoes that I peeled and chopped up but didn't need in my soup. I don't like letting anything go to waste, so I'm gonna do for our dinner as a side dish a kind of spiced roast potato because we've got a Riverford box for our dinner and we're having this nasi goreng, which I think is gonna be delicious. And I thought, perfect, I can do a nice little side of these little spiced roast potatoes. I've got half a pepper here as well, left over from the pasta dish that I did at the weekend. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start off by heating some oil in a pan. I'm going to put some cumin seeds in the pan until they kind of crack and open up, release the aroma. I've got some chili flakes, some chili powder and some turmeric. Chopped garlic is always a good idea. And then I found this in the cupboard. This is from a company called Terre Exotique. It is a blend of crushed roasted spices. Looks like this. And they smell amazing. So I'm going to prep these potatoes now It's 4:45. My mum is currently upstairs having a massage with lovely Lynn, who we book on the Lucy app. And I'm gonna go next, which is gonna be delightful. So I'll be there from 5 till 6. Charlie's getting home from his sports massage. What do we like with all these massages? But funnily enough, I was listening to the Zoe podcast with Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, and it's the episode all about stress, and as well as breathing techniques, he was saying how human touch is so good at bringing down your stress levels. I literally booked this treatment yesterday after the day that we had, thinking it would be a really, really good idea, and I cannot wait. So anyway, Charlie will be home at 6:30. So from 6 till 6:30, I will make the nasi goreng after my treatment. But for now, let's get started on the potatoes. So I'm going to begin with the cumin seeds. So I'm going to use my trusty little mini always pan. Someone actually asked me a question about this in the last vlog. I've got it in small and the regular size. I could not recommend these any more highly. They are non-slip. You don't really need olive oil, but I do in today's case because I'm toasting seeds. It's a non-toxic non-stick because we all know about Teflon. Not good for you at all. Really easy to clean, super versatile. I love them. I don't have a discount code, but I will leave them linked down below. I think their next sale will probably be Black Friday, but I would recommend snapping them up before then. So let's get this on the heat. Now I'm going to chop some garlic. This is going to be such a delicious side dish and so good for you, full of all of those delicious spices. Have been sauteing for about 10 minutes, and I'm probably going to take them off the heat now. Oh my goodness me, they smell amazing. I've got the spices and just a splash of water, so they should be going nice and soft. I need to head up for my treatment now, so I'm going to take them off the heat. What I think I'll do is pop some peppers in for maybe 5 or 10 minutes when I've finished, and then get them all in the oven. When I was cutting up the pepper, I realised that this middle section has loads of little seeds, so I might actually try planting a few and see if I can grow my own pepper plant. You can start them off at this time of year. Again, as long as they germinate in the heat, then hopefully we should have some success. Not spoken to you yet today, and it's already 4 p.m. Today has just flown by. I did film a little clip of the Pilates studio this morning. Not that you've not seen it before, my goodness. I am such a stuck record. Honestly, I do worry that these vlogs are just so repetitive. I go to Pilates, I buy vegetables from Dalesford, and then I come home and I make a soup or a bone broth. It's a wonder that you're still here, honestly. But sometimes there's comfort in the familiarity, isn't there? I think so. So today, I've actually, the main reason why it's been so long since that I haven't picked up the camera, I think I filmed a very brief clip a second ago. I had Kate and Nicole over at the house, and I simultaneously had my hair cut and coloured and got a pedi, which is great. So I've actually taken, or I haven't, Kate took a good maybe 2 inches off my hair. It was not a planned chop. I just decided, literally, she was like, how much do you want off? I was like, Let's just do a good couple of inches just to give it a little bit of a refresh. My hair's growing pretty quickly at the moment, so I'm never too scared to do a chop, and the colour looks great. I'll leave Kate's details down below in case you are local, because she does house visits and it's so convenient, and she's brilliant at blonde, and it just feels great to not have mega regrowth like I did 3 hours ago. And then Nicole has given me the most wonderful pedicure. I booked Nicole on the Lucy app, which is kind of the Cotswold version of Ruby, and she does a great job. So I now have pink toes, which is great because I was getting so bored of autumn winter colours. Anyway, I've not eaten anything since my quick avo toast after Pilates, so I'm gonna go and stick some of my leek and potato soup on the hob, and I'm so excited for it because I tried, like tasted it, did a taste test yesterday, and honestly I think it's the best soup I've ever made. And I'm gonna crumble little bits of extra cheese on top, and it's gonna be an absolute dream. Then this afternoon it's grey and it's rainy, so total opposite to yesterday, so not really the kind of day that I want to be out in the greenhouse doing gardening. So I've been meaning to do a little bit of a clear out, just like when you go through every cupboard and if something jumps out to you that you've not worn in a while, I need to do a light cleanse of the wardrobe. So this afternoon is definitely that kind of afternoon. Dare I say, looking towards spring. It feels too early to even think about spring, but I'm ready. I'm ready to start with the optimistic spring chat. So I'll look at some of my lightweight coats and things like that. But yeah, anyway, let's go and get some food and then we'll do some organising. Okay, I'm just about to do my soup, and I thought I would do my homemade croutons again because honestly, they are one of life's little pleasures. They are so delicious. However, we got a problem. Can you see how disgusting my bread is? I literally bought this, actually no, I think it has been about a week, but it feels damp, really weird, but I thought I might just like cut into it. You're probably all screaming, Josie, just throw it away. I just hate waste, I really do, and I don't know how we've let this bread get like this, but I thought if the middle of it is not mouldy, oh actually no, I think I can literally see like spores coming off it. No, see, the middle bit is fine. So if I just take some of this stale but not mouldy middle bit, then I can make that into breadcrumbs for the top. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Little bit of mould never hurt anyone. If this video never makes it up, it's because I didn't survive. God. Am I really doing this? Yes. We don't want to waste the bread. Actually, do you know what? It's even mouldy on the inside, can you see? Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna put it in the bin. I do not want to eat this. Do you know what? I'm just having one of those days where I'm really like doubting the content that I'm putting out, and I'm just thinking like, am I really including a clip about my mouldy bread? Am I really? But then I have these thoughts, and then I think about the YouTube videos that I enjoy watching, and it's literally people living their everyday life and having these everyday conundrums, and I'm like, I can relate to that. I love watching you telling me about your laundry routine because I too do laundry. And a lot of you guys always say, we like the home, we like the like slow days. So hopefully this is riveting content. I'm gonna do my soup in this pan today. Not my normal choice, but I made a rose cardamom matcha for Kate and I earlier in my other saucepan. Haven't cleaned it up yet. And also I just thought this one, they're so easy to wash. Not an ad for our place, although I'd love to work with them again, quite frankly, because I think their products are amazing. Hard to tell quantities in pans like this though. Right, and hopefully the big surface area will mean my soup will be ready quickly. Oh, I'm so sad about my bread. What a shame. Ladies and gentlemen, is the most wonderful soup of all time. I love loading my soups with extra bits, so obviously I would have loved to have done my little breadcrumbs. Is that what they're called? croutons. That's the word I'm looking for, but alas, we all know how that that little thought ended. So I've got seeds, I've got microgreens. I think these are nearly done. These are the kohlrabi shoots, we've got the pea shoots, then we've got some of my seeds. I love to put a seed mix on everything, and I just think that every dish can be made better with cheese. So even though there's already cheese in the actual soup, I've added more of the Colston Basset on top, because why on earth not? And oh my goodness, mouth-watering, can't wait to tuck in. Okay, can someone just explain to me why some jars have got these stupid separatey lids? Like, what is the point? Like, I always want to take off the entire lid. I never want to take off just the ring. I just don't understand. If someone can explain that logic to me, I'd be very grateful. It literally winds me up every time. I'm coming, Dexy. Mummy's coming. Just done a very quick little flower refresh. I bought these beautiful, very optimistic spring-like pink tulips. Sorry about the lighting, by the way. It looks like this outside. Miserable. Yes, I bought these gorgeous tulips from Dalesford this morning. I think I showed you a little clip of picking them out the bucket. How exciting. And they're just stunning. They are kind of like a duo colour, which I adore. And just like I have a problem with throwing away food, I also have a problem with throwing away flowers. So what I often find myself doing is taking apart a bouquet, as you just saw, taking out anything dead, freshening up anything that's alive normally by removing bottom leaves or removing any dead bits, and then adding new into old. And then that way you have like an ever-evolving bouquet. I find things like eucalyptus and certain other types of foliage and whatever this kind of leaf is, they're just so long lasting, and I think that this looks even more beautiful than just a simple glass or vase of tulips. My favourite flowers, ranunculus, they're also really nice and long lasting, although this one is starting to lose a few of its lower petals, so I'll just pluck those out. And yeah, I think it looks gorgeous. A really nice, optimistic spring bouquet. Very happy with that. Now I need to move it away from the Aga because they won't like the heat. And something else that I like to do, as I've mentioned, probably not recently, but I like to keep jars. In fact, Charlie placed a Piper's Farm order, and he's ordered loads of kind of cupboard essentials like these Queen black beans. We love different kinds of beans. And these glass jars are fantastic for putting inside antique containers, because containers like this that we collect from antique shops, I think this one would probably be okay, but, oh, I thought that was a spider, it's a leaf. But sometimes they have holes in them, or also the fact that this has got a narrower top, it means that your flowers are kind of all held together. Whereas imagine if I put these flowers straight into this, they would just kind of flop against the edge. So that's a little hack. If you ever buy things like this, keep the jars. Chickpeas often come in jars like this as well, because they're just so good at hiding inside beautiful antique containers. If you look around the house, literally, we've done this so many times. Sorry about the darkness, my goodness. Feels like the middle of winter, it really does. It shouldn't be this dark already. Yeah, so there'll be, this is obviously a dried display. Didn't start out as dry, it started out as fully alive. Probably a few bits I need to pluck out of there, but that's got a chickpea vase in the bottom. The roses, which are looking beautiful over here, they're in a chickpea vase. Probably those hydrangeas are as well, just to keep them all together. Anyway, I'm rambling, but that's my flower hack. In the evening is the weirdest time in the whole world to have a smoothie, but today's meals have just been all over the place. And after that soup, it was so sensational, but I felt like I needed something sweet. And now that I've been doing these smoothie jars, it's just so easy to make a smoothie. As you may have just spotted, this is obviously tomorrow's smoothie because it made loads. But I added in a good third of a bottle of the River Cottage organic kefir, and it made me think, all the berries in here plus the kefir, this is basically the M&S Zoe gut shot, but a million times better, because it's also got all of the amazing superfoods that I added in when I made my smoothie jars. On that note, the smoothie jars, I talked about it in the last vlog if you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, but my tip if you do them would be to put your superfood powders, like your hemp powder, your dirty mushrooms, your collagen powder, put that on top, because I find that I have to really scrape the bottom of the jar to get that powder out once it's been in the freezer. And you don't want to miss out on any of the powder because it's expensive and it's really good for you. So next time I'll put the fruit in and the nuts, and then I'll put the powder on top, and then I'll make sure to get all the powder. But I also put cold water in the jar, like clean it out with a spoon, and then pour that into my smoothie. So I'm not really missing anything. I added hazelnut milk, and the kefir from the River Cottage is quite watery, so it just works so well in a smoothie. And then I've topped it with bee pollen and chia seed, and honestly, so good. Maybe a little bit watery today, but it's fine. And tomorrow, you'll be seeing this in the next vlog, tomorrow for us is Valentine's Day. We've got a really fun day planned, but you probably need to leave the house fairly sharpish after breakfast, so I'll just take this with me in the car. So there we go, tomorrow's smoothie sorted. God, you would think from Dexter and Dickens' sluggishness this afternoon that I took them on a 1,000,000-mile walk yesterday. They are absolutely exhausted. Also, this afternoon / this evening, any minute now, we are going to be having a delivery from George Smith. Yeah, delivery from George Smith. We have got the final piece of the puzzle for our drawing room, and it's actually the most exciting bit of furniture. So we have ordered a completely bespoke sofa from George Smith in a Killim fabric. No, we haven't. The footstool is Killim fabric. This is a patterned, I think, boucle. It's basically going to be a beautiful patterned George Smith sofa, which I'm so excited about. We placed this order I think like 6 months ago, but it's been completely bespoke, handmade here in England. And actually I think it was the fabric that we were waiting on, because it's like a special woven wool. So yeah, that's gonna be the doorbell going any second. But anyway, I'm gonna enjoy my smoothie, and I need to change your battery. Oh my god, sorry. I just have to tell you really quickly about this silly thing that I just did before I changed the battery, so you might die any second. I just went to grab this, my pan raisin, from the cake stand. I got a clean plate out of the cupboard. Sorry, no, this is so boring. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you about my plates because it's so boring. These will bankrupt me. They're $4.99 per pastry. I'm going through one a day at the moment. So good. Okay, excuse my get up. I've been out helping the George Smith guys unload the new sofa. We've got the cushions for it here. We've just got to hope that it'll fit through this doorway. It's quite a deep sofa, and our front door is a no-go because it's curved, so fingers crossed we can chicane it past the dresser in the kitchen. Otherwise I don't know what we're gonna do, so fingers crossed. Yay, look at this gorgeous fabric. Oof. And just like that, we have a new sofa. Very exciting. They did manage to get it in, no problems, thank goodness. We now have a complete George Smith set here in the drawing room, and it feels, oh, it's dog paws. I heard like a crackling noise and I thought the water was dripping into the house. It was Tex's claws on the wood. Yeah, we now have a full set of George Smith furniture in here. 2 sofas, 1 giant footstool, 2 armchairs. and it looks absolutely amazing. For total, don't even think about cocking your leg up on the new sofa. I'm watching you. For total transparency, we actually have received this sofa from George Smith as a kind of payment for Dickens modelling in their adverts last year. So you might remember that George Smith came, when was it? Do you know what, I feel like I think it was even like a year and a half ago, because these things take a while to turn around. Or was it, who knows, whenever George Smith came and shot their magazine adverts at the house, used Dickens as their model, we negotiated instead of them paying us money to use the house as a shoot location, because furniture companies pay properties big bucks to rent their houses as locations, but we were like, don't pay us, we would just love another sofa. So they very kindly agreed, and here it is. So obviously this is not the final layout of the room, and I've just realised we've still got the Christmas wreath up, but you know what, it's not even that festive. I think we can keep it here. So this was our second to latest acquisition from George Smith, and this is the new one, smaller in size, but perfect for 2 or 3 people. Awful lighting for me to show you, but gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous quality as always with George Smith, and the material is like a slightly patterned, it's like a boucle in this beautiful warm red colour. The sides are not too high so that our guests can access the little drinks table, which I need to scoot around. Yeah, so that's absolutely perfect. Similar, no, not quite the same, but similar arms to this sofa. Someone's bottom has been there and we've not plumped it up. I love this sofa. It's literally the most comfortable thing on the planet. It's very much got Dexter and Dickens approval. And then we've got, which needs to come further in, and we'll probably actually know what Charlie's done is he's pushed this sofa back. So this footstool will come into the middle when Charlie's back, and this sofa will come forward a little bit because it makes rooms look better when your furniture is not pressed up against the wall. So we'll have like this much of a gap and then the sofa will start, which is perfect. And now everything kind of tones in color-wise. It's gorgeous. But yeah, I'll show you this room in the daylight with the final furniture layout in the next vlog. What are your guys' thoughts on keeping the wreath? There's nothing like ludicrously festive about it. It's just dried out so perfectly, and it really suits being up there. And to be honest, it's too fabulous to throw away. Everything's just dried out, nothing's dead, it's just fully preserved, and I think it's gorgeous. So there we go, a blurry wreath. Okay, our DHL delivery has just been for the day, and I thought I would share with you a couple of these lovely deliveries. I think they're Valentine's Day themed, which I know will have been and gone by the time you watch this, but I'm still going to share them with you. So first of all, I think this is a new fragrance from Jo Malone London, or maybe they're just doing an ode to their traditional rose scents. A limited edition collection of rebellious rose scents, from light and fresh to deep and decadent. My new favourite thing is perfume layering, which I know is nothing new, but do you remember in the vlog 2 or 3 vlogs ago, I went to Creed and I got the Royal Oud scent? That pairs so nicely with different fragrances, so I feel like pairing Royal Oud with a rose fragrance will be heavenly. So there's 3 scents here. 3 scents. How cute is this? I'm definitely going to be taking this lid into the greenhouse and using it as like a little plant tray. Ooh, we have got Rose Amber, heavenly. So this is amazing. England's floral emblem, the Tudor rose, a symbolic flower. Associated with one of the most notorious eras in royal history. Tudor. What era was that? Wonder what parts of this house are Tudor. Obviously, Tudor houses are the ones that are like white with the black beams. That's quite classic Tudor style. It's just showing me Tudor watches. Tudor history. Okay, so lots of this. Oh, hang on. How silly am I? The Tudor era was very important for this house. So Tudor England was 1485 to 1603, when England underwent huge changes during the reigns of 3 generations of Tudor monarchs. Henry VIII ushered in a new state of religion. Right, let's pause Wikipedia there. Oh, hang on. I need to speak to Charlie, but this is a very important chat. Okay, I'm back again, and we were talking about the Tudor history. So yeah, that was a really important time for this house because, apologies to my very OG subscribers, you'll have heard this before when I talked about the history, but this house used to have a barn attached to it. The house is kind of like a T shape, and the long bit of the T is a barn. And during the Reformation, when Henry VIII decided that he wanted to create the Church of England so that he could divorce his wives and many other things, he decided that Catholic churches should be banned and banished and Catholic priests should be killed. So what happened was the Catholic priest that lived in this house, he and his family built hidden cupboards in this house where he could hide, and they are called priest holes because they are holes in your wall where priests used to hide. So we've got a few of those in this house, which is quite interesting. And what used to be the barn for this house got converted into a Catholic chapel so that the village could come and worship secretly without Henry VIII and his men finding them. So we no longer have a barn attached to this house. It's now a Catholic chapel with an undercroft, which is like chapel storage underneath. So yeah, we've gone from perfume to English history, but yeah, this house had really interesting goings on at the Tudor time. So this is quite a fun fragrance. Oh, it's just gorgeous. In fact, I don't even know if I'd need to layer this with royal oud because it's quite oudy. That is heavenly. That's a really mature, like rich, deep floral scent. I am a big fan. Big fan. I'm going to wear that tomorrow for Valentine's Day. And we've got a matching candle. How gorgeous. I'm actually going to light this now because why not? And I've got to say, we've got a lot of candle brands in this house. We love our Bertioli candles, etc. But it's when we've got Jo Malone candles lit that boy oh boy, the whole place just smells amazing. So Mum and Charlie will be home in about half an hour. So if I get this lit now, I guarantee they'll walk into the kitchen and be like, oh, that smells nice. Great, candle all lit. I'm gonna also keep this, and sorry to be so unglamorous, Jo Malone, but I'm gonna put loo roll tubes in here because it's a really nice height for holding loads of loo rolls together. And then I'll plant more things in my loo rolls because I just love using loo rolls as little gardening containers. Then I had this big box delivered from the White Company. I was not expecting this, so let's see. I think this is, oh, it's a little thank you card. Oh my god, this is the sweetest thing. To Josie, female friendships are a powerful force, a beacon for our well-being, happiness and success. That is worth celebrating. That's why we'd love to gift you with everything you need to celebrate a lovely date night in with amazing women in your life. Ah, this Valentine's. Oh my god, this is so cute. Well, I've got Scarlett coming over on Saturday, so maybe Scarlett, Lila and I can have a little Valentine's Day night. Oh, this is so freaking cute. Slippers. They look like the softest things, and actually, how bloomin' perfect timing wise, because by the way, if you watched my Net-a-Porter haul, side note on that in a second, I didn't keep the Loewe slippers because I actually just thought it was ridiculous, and I have thrown a pair away today because they were just getting really stinky. So these are perfect. They're so soft. Oh my gosh, I love them. And just a note on that Net-a-Porter haul, because from the comments of that video, you would think that you guys didn't like it, because a lot of the comments were like, Josie, this is just too much, too many expensive things. So I looked at the comments and I was like, maybe people don't want to see this. But then I looked at the analytics of what you guys bought from the links that I shared under the video, and let's just say you liked it. Like, a lot of you did a little shopping haul after watching that video. A lot of you bought Gucci boots. A lot of you bought, hang on, what was the other thing that was really popular? stuff that I was like, wow, okay, I will keep showing you luxury things then, because, oh, the Ralph Lauren pink jumper, you were loving that like so much. What were the other big things? This is why I love analytics, because sometimes if there are like 5 comments saying, Josie, this stuff is too expensive, then that could make me change what I do here online. But sometimes it's those of you that don't necessarily leave a comment, but you buy a lot of stuff. So 212 people, well, I don't know that you bought the Jimmy Choo sandals, but you bought something after clicking on the Jimmy Choo sandals. 111 of you bought the Skims bralette. 12 bought the Gucci boots. I mean, not small numbers. So yeah, comments versus what the majority actually think can sometimes be very different. So I must learn, not that I do, but not to like get down if sometimes the comments in a video are not like mega positive, because that is always, it's always like some of the negative remarks to me are what are loudest, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm rambling. So what do we have here? A glass. Ooh. Oh my god, this is so cute. Oh, how freaking adorable. I'm going to be making pancakes later for pudding, because now I know that Lola and Charlie will be back in time for dinner, so I'm going to make pancakes in a second, because it is pancake day. So I'm going to serve them on this. Oh my gosh, I love it. Heart plate. Lovely. Oh, it's so nice. White Company quality is just divine. Is this pajamas? No way. Oh my goodness me. The sweetest little PJs. Oh gosh. This is too cute. Oh, how stunning. We've got a couple of these beautiful glasses in here. I'm gonna have to buy some more because I need a set now. How lovely. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Oh my god, I love them so much. Thank you, White Company. And we've, oh, that sounds nice. Santa Rosa luxury candle. Ooh. Oh my goodness, I can smell this already. Wow, I wonder if this is a new scent. I feel like this is slightly different branding to what the White Company candles normally look like. That smells insanely good. Like, kind of like how I just described the perfume, a real rich, expensive, deep rose. Santa Rosa with tuberose, orris and jasmine. I'm gonna be bold and say that's actually one of the best candle scents I've ever smelled. I think this might be new from the White Company, but then I'm not like 100% sure. Anyway, gorgeous treats. I feel very, very lucky, very spoiled. Thank you to the White Company. Thank you to Jo Malone London. I'm now going to go and take my makeup off and prepare the pancake batter. I will probably just prepare the pancakes on a time lapse. By the time you watch this, pancake day will have been and gone, so I don't think you need to hear me talking through a pancake recipe. So aside from that little pancake time lapse that's coming up now, I'm going to bid you good night and say thank you very much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got to the end, leave the word rose in your comments so I can see who the best ones are. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, darlings. Goodbye.